Uh, what the hell was that? Hey, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Audiophiles. Hi, my name's John, his name's Andy.
Mm-hmm.
Entrances uncovered, street signs you never saw, all entrances delivered, courtesy of winter. More on that later. But first, we have a track to listen to. Andy, and your carousel of convenience, what has slipped into your fingers this time?
Do Your Bones Glow at Night is the name of the track. Not a question I'm posing you.
Chernobyl?
Yeah, right. Do Your Bones Glow at Night is the name of the track. It's by a band called The Veils. Are you familiar with The Veils at all? Have you heard of them? Know anything about them?
Don't think so, no.
Okay, cool. Well, this is a live performance on KEXP, so enjoy the visuals as well as the sounds, and let me know what you think, man.
Love guide me out of this ocean hateful. Land of the damned, just dance me to forever, to forever.
Under an anvil, I'm running out of time. I'm like a man without a candle, heading down the mine. When I stare at the darkness, I see nothing but devils.
Bells, figuratively and literally, ringing all over the place. So it was a nice start. I wasn't even sure that was their song. Those female voices, I think they're female, over the sort of KEXP logo. I like the drummer. His scarf is as big as him. It's really funny. I don't know if he is, but the way it's shot, he looks a diminutive figure. So it just humors me. The song itself seems really familiar. I will get it, but it seems very familiar. And the guy singing, I feel like I've seen it before. Even that same sort of garb, definitely the hat, it rings another bell. But there you go. He's got a decent voice. It's a good start. Let's see how it goes.
I was a stranger here, but I think I'm on the level. And I can feel you in my nightmares, and I can see you in my dreams. It's funny, everything I try for ain't what it seems.
That's it. Things ain't like they used to be. That's it. That's it.
I can feel you in my nightmares, and I can see you in my dreams. It's funny, everything I try for ain't what it seems. Now that it's harsh, I'm grateful, and down, just dance me to forever, dance me to forever, guide me out of this harsh, I'm grateful, and down, just dance me to forever, to forever. You know I love you, alright. Oh my Lord, do your bones glow at night? Do they shimmer in the moonlight? Do your bones glow at night? Oh my Lord, faithful land of the damned, just dance me to forever, dance me to forever, guide me out of this harsh and painful land of the damned, just dance me to forever, to forever.
Don't worry, I'm going to bring it back. Yeah, I was just going to say the song had a really nice groove to it, and it was kind of quite understated and creeping forward. And it looks like they're going to go batshit now, which is great. Okay, let's hear the batshittiness.
Find me out
351, right. What the hell was that keyboard he was playing? Yeah, because I don't know if you could see. Yes, there's a thread along it and some sort of plastic, almost like a plectrum or something that's linked to the thread, and it was sliding. I don't know what hell that is. Looks interesting. Sounded great. But there you go. I'm not going to rewind it. Let's go back to 350. There we go. Really nice sound to it. The guitar howls as well, and that they work really well together. Yeah, excellent.
out of this harsh, ungrateful land of the damned. Love dance me
to forever, dance me to forever, guide me out of this harsh, ungrateful land of the damned. Just dance me to forever, to forever.
Yeah, that's interesting. The similarity between this and that Black Keys song. Things ain't like they used to be. It is really strong, really strong. But this is a really good performance live. He's got a great voice. Seen him with his hat somewhere before as well. Yeah, I liked the female backing vocals. I didn't see who produced that noise, whether it was just, on a tape or something over, they whacked in. But at the start and at the end, it was really nice. Had a lovely, as I say, creeping quality to the song. It was slowly sort of through the undergrowth. coming up to you. And I did like the breakout of the sort of guitar solo and that synthy keyboard, whatever the hell that was. All sounded good. Yes, really decent performance and sounded great live as usual. KEXP. So yeah, top banana all round. Let's find out a bit more about the Veils by going back, speaking with Andy.
All right, so you've returned from the nuclear fallout and the glowing bones. What do you say?
Just an aside, this put me in mind of a story which I think Neil Gaiman told about the women in the luminous paint factory. Are you aware of this story?
No,
He was going to make it into something. I don't know if he has or not, but basically, it's true stories. When they discovered various elements and things which enabled luminosity in terms of paint, and they were using it for all sorts of things, watches and devices you need to see at night that lit up.
uh-huh.
And there were some women in the factory, and one of their little tricks was they would paint parts of their body with this paint, and at night would go home to their partner, and bits of them would light up if not too much delight, as it were. But they would use hand brushes, and they would actually lick the brushes while they're doing it, and then after an amount of time, their jaws would fall off and stuff like that, because these are all radioactive paints. And whenever they got ill, they got sacked immediately from the factory because there was no workers' rights or anything. And so, yeah, Game was trying to make this into a story. It just reminded me of that,
Wow.
slightly different story, but there you go.
Yeah, but that's still hella interesting, man.
It is. I
Leave it
don't
to
know what he
Gaiman,
did with
man.
it. Yeah. So it starts off and we see the KEXP logo, ring of confidence, as they were saying, a very old TV adverts. And then I'm thinking, have they got a new jingle or something? Because it started off with these disembodied female voices over the logo, which is quite unusual because most KEXP, you don't get the sort of music starting while they've still got their screen up. I'm guessing this is a backing track because we don't see them at all during the entire video. What I wondered actually if it was a sample or something from another song they were using. I'm not sure, but so then
I'll get
after
into that a
that,
little bit later, John. I'll clear the air there as we go on.
I get the feeling it was a sample, but I could be wrong. After that, we're introduced to the drummer, and he has an interesting look, sort of dwarf chic, fresh from Tolkien, with a scarf that's as big as him. The way he's framed with the camera does him no favors. It's something
Right.
of a sort of the high chair element to how he's situated.
He looks
I
like,
have to say,
those little cherubs, like figurines. Like he looks like a fully grown cherub. Like he was born a little blonde, blue-eyed, And then he's like, oh, he grew a beard.
I thought that this is just him doing this stuff at night, and his day job is working under the mountain. But I liked him immediately. I liked his vibe.
Yeah.
So the song goes into the main sort of motif, this sort of creeping melody from the guitar and the bass, and it put me in mind of something that's shouldering its way through the undergrowth or tall grasses. There was a positively feline prowl to it.
Mm.
And then bells started ringing, both figuratively and literally. There are these high chimes from a keyboard that sort of spread over the top of the song as a kind of parallel melody that were really nice. And at this point, it's feeling like a bit of a slow burn kind of a song. So your man starts singing. He has a decent voice, and I can't help but shake this feeling of familiarity. I've definitely seen him somewhere with the same garb, the same hat and dark thing, but I cannot place it. Won't come to me context or setting because I do not know this band, do not know this song. There you go. But then the song is really familiar as well. So the rhythm section are creating this sort of heavy-legged mood with the guitar throwing accents, like the first guitar, the main guitar throwing these accents, and the second one putting that sort of riff, like a comment at the end of each phrase. And then I catch the line from him. He says something about everything I try for ain't what it seems. And that does trigger a 40-watt light bulb moment in my head. So the verse part of this song is extremely, and I mean extremely, similar to Things Ain't Like What They Used to Be by the Black Keys. Really unbelievably similar. Because it sounded the same when he goes, and it's about time you see things ain't what they used to be, you know. Not overly fond of that album, to be honest with you, but anyway. So back to the song. The verse continues, and the absent females return for a little smidgen as well. And it's all very simmering and understated. He sings the song title a few times, and then we start to ramp up the song. And don't get me wrong, I'm enjoying the song to this point. But you know, it's nice that I can feel it's about to change, and it does, which I think is pretty good. There's these long sustained synth notes, and the guitar becomes a little bit more, first guitar was a little bit more expressive. And then at 3 minutes into the song, we get to this instrumental part. And I think I did say in the reaction that I thought that it probably needed something else at this point, which is unusual for me to say something like that. But something else is what we got. So the guitarist, who I saw him before, but it really freaked me out at this point because he looked a lot like Jeff Lynne from ELO, but without sunglasses. Now, I've been loving ELO since about 1977, and I've never seen Jeff Lynne without sunglasses. So that's what freaked me out the most. God, that's what he looks like without his sunglasses. Oh,
He always wears sunglasses like all the time. You're right.
So it's really funny. But anyway, he kneels down to not twiddle, which is always a good sign.
Yeah.
And he's sort of augmenting the howling of his guitar, and it's sounded great. And then intertwining with this is this really interesting looking keyboard instrument, and I had to pull it back and take a look. So it's a keyboard, and it looks quite almost homemade, you know, the sort of wood to it. And there's a thread, there's a cord running along the keys with this bit of plastic cords running through it, and it almost looks like a plectrum. I don't know what that is or what it does, but it kind of reminded me of a cross between a stylophone and a theremin in its tone. So it sounded fantastic. And it basically is sort of intermingling with the guitar, but it was crawling up through the guitar part like an ivy and then taking over and strangling it. And it becomes all that really at the end. At this point, Gimli's smacking the shit out of the, you know, and doing some great beats. And, the singer returns, and we get the keyboard part rising to full banshee wail, which I always enjoy that sort of thing. It then breaks to let in the female voices from beyond the veil. Then that chiming, and it's now almost sounding like glockenspiel-like in my ears. It comes back in, and then they briefly jam back up into the maelstrom before ending. So I was a really good, it was a great performance as always, KEXP. But I mean, you can give them a lot of credit, but you have to have a decent band doing a decent song before. Otherwise, it's just a really recording of something that's shite. So you know, they really performed really well. The thing I like the most about this is how they created atmosphere. There's a deft touch to all of it, and the first part of it, I think, isn't the sort of standout garish part, but I think a lovely groove and mood to it, which I really enjoyed. And then I like the shenanigans as well. So yeah, thumbs up.
Awesome. Yeah, I thought you would enjoy this one for a couple reasons, and there's also some little factoids that I know will tie into things that you also like. But you're right, like something that I've really, since I've heard these guys, commanded my attention was the moodiness of the music, and how they can toy with that and just increase it and play with it throughout all their tracks. And yeah, I really, really love it. There's something cinematic about the sound to it. So it's got this almost like, not only are they musicians, but there's almost this like filmmakers touch to the way they write music. And that's something that I really appreciate too. So yeah, the Veils, they are an English New Zealand rock band fronted by singer and songwriter Finn Andrews, who is your man in the hat. They formed in 2001, and they have released 6 full-length studio albums and 4 EPs. Andrews was born in London, but spent his teenage years at high school in Auckland, New Zealand. His father, probably familiar with him, Barry Andrews, he played keyboards for Ecstasy and Shriekbacks, and his mother was a teacher in New Zealand. And while there, Andrews neglected his schoolwork and poured himself into music, so it's pretty easy to see which of his two parents he took after in this regard. He was writing and recording several tracks, many of which would go on to feature on the Veils' debut album, The Runaway Found. When he was 16, a set of demos he sent to record companies created a stir and led to invitations for him to return to London and make a record. And the band was almost immediately signed to a record deal. After contract disputes, though, and disbandment of their initial record label, the infamous record label Blanco y Negro, which had signed so many bands that have been discussed or featured on this channel. So anyway, after the fallout there, the Veils eventually regained the rights to their music, and finally in 2004, their debut album, The Runaway Found, I just mentioned, was released. So it took some time and all this legal battle and all this bullshit, but they got it out. And funny enough, though it was rapturously received by the critics, by the time it was released, Andrews felt unhappy with the direction of the band, and following some altercation between the bandmates and himself, the Veils' first incarnation split mid-2004, just 2 months after this album finally was released. Andrews left the UK in early 2005 and embarked on a solo tour in America and Japan, eventually returning home to New Zealand, where he found a new direction for the band. He spent the summer there rehearsing with high school friends Liam Gerard on keyboards and Sophia Byrne on bass, soon amassing an album's worth of material. When the trio returned to London, they were joined by Dan Reichbrook on guitar and Henning Dietz on drums, aka Thorn Oakenshield, and that completed their new lineup. In 2006, they began recording their second album, Nux Vomica. It was darker and heavier and more complex in sound, and was augmented by string arrangements, but also a newly found highly animalistic energy. Which is really an interesting word to use because you used feline, which is a kind of an animal. So that just kind of made me chuckle when you use that word there. Lead singer Finn Andrews showed rougher and more experimental vocals on many of the songs. Nux Vomica featured on 16 English and American critics' Best of the Year lists in 2006. 16 months following the release of Nux Vomica, the Veils played over 250 shows across 15 countries. And during the U.S. leg of the tour, it was announced that the keyboardist Liam Gerard would leave the band and return to New Zealand due to personal reasons, and they would continue as a four-piece. By mid-2008, they were back to London and began work on their third album with producer Graham Sutton. The recording sessions at West Point Studio lasted only 3 weeks, and at the end of the summer, the album was done and ready to be mixed. The album Sun Gangs was released on April 6, 2009, and was featured in many websites' top albums of 2009. So we have a recurring theme here. They're putting out good albums. The band spent the summer of 2010 working on new material, and on December 6th, it was announced that a new 7-song EP entitled Troubles of the Brain was to be released on January 24th. And the band had left Rough Trade after almost 9 years and started their own record label, Pitch Beast Records. The Veils' fourth album, Time Strays, We Go, was recorded in Laurel Canyon, Los Angeles, and was released in April of 2013. In January, the band recorded a 5-song live session at Abbey Road Studios, which also turned into a short film and released as an exclusive content with the sale of the record. Following their albums release, the Veils embarked on a 150-day date world tour with shows all across North America, Europe, and New Zealand. These guys really tore their ass off. That's one thing you got to say about them. After every one of these albums come these huge international tours. Once their tour finished, Finn Andrews revealed in an interview for NME that the band had moved into their own studio in East London and had already begun work on a new record due to release in 2016. On August 26, 2016, the band released their 5th studio album, Total Depravity, which features this track, Do Your Bones Glow at Night. The same year, David Lynch announced that Finn Andrews would appear in his revival of Twin Peaks. The band appeared performing the song Axolotl, and the 15th part aired August 21st, 2017. And I think he had like a guest role as well in that show, if I'm not mistaken. Which I thought you would enjoy because I know we're both
The
into
Bang
band
Bang
too,
Club,
more so.
right? Yeah, that's probably what I was saying in then. Bang Bang Club.
Yep. That's when you said you started to become familiar with his visage and you didn't know where the connecting point was. I was like, there it is, Twin Peaks. What go ahead.
No, it's just he actually featured quite a lot of relatively unknown. I mean, Nine Inch Nails was the really famous one in that series,
Yeah.
but there was some fairly unknown bands that he, put out there. And Lynch has always been quite involved in music over the years as well.
Yeah.
So it was really interesting.
Yeah. Joaquin Robles of KTSW would write in his review of the album, as the Catholic doctrine of total depravity speaks to the sinfulness and corruption of human nature, the Veils parallel this mindset in their 2016 album of the same name. Total depravity speaks volumes, features dark and ominous tones, prominent and captured bass lines, and an overall eerie soundstage and profile. Total depravity is like a horror movie for your ears by frightening you, yet capturing your curiosity at the same time. The album earned an average of 4.2 on Sputnik Music out of 5, which earned their excellent rating. While based on 57 user reviews, Album of the Year scores it at 76 out of 100. Johnny D of loudersound.com would write of the album, with total depravity, synth squelches, and creepy gospel, the epically titled Do Your Bones Glow at Night, and on the magnificent Low Lays the Devil, a vintage blues squall equal to the Black Keys. Which is another thing you reference and very interesting. Elsewhere, Slow Burner Swimming with Crocodiles scales the same big music heights once explored by the likes of the Waterboys. Now, let's jump into these lyrics. I'm like a kitty under an anvil. I'm running out of time. I'm like a man without a candle heading down the mine. And when I stare at the darkness, I see nothing but devils. I was a stranger here, but they think I'm on the level. And I can see you in my nightmares, and I can see you in my dreams. Funny everything I try for ain't what it seems. And I can see you in my nightmares, and I can see you in my dreams. Funny everything I try for ain't what it seems. Love, guide me out of this harsh, ungrateful land of the damned. Just dance me to forever, dance me to forever. Guide me out of this harsh and hateful land of the damned. Just dance me to forever, love. Do your bones glow at night? Do they shimmer in the moonlight? You know I love you, all right. Oh my God. Do your bones glow at night? Do they shimmer in the moonlight? You know I love you, all right. Oh my God. Love, guide me out of this harsh, ungrateful land of the damned. Just dance me to forever, dance me to forever. Guide me out of this harsh and hateful land of the damned. Just dance me to forever, love. And it's worth noting that you should check out the studio version of this track if you enjoyed the KEXP iteration. The lyrics that or the vocals that sort of started the song is actually a guest performer that would actually sing the chorus throughout the whole song. They teased it in the beginning, and I think maybe a little bit later on as well, but he sang the choruses for this performance. There's also some effects laid on the vocal track in the studio version that kind of even add more to the odd moodiness of the song. So it just further enhances the vibe of the tune. So it's worth checking out if you enjoyed this anyway. So yeah, Finn Andrews would say of this tune in an article with Radio New Zealand, this is a sinister little song. I don't know if there's a sort of stranger narrator in it, or if he's the good guy or the villain. I think maybe he is both, but more likely the villain. The choruses in this song are sung by some friends of ours and a girl named Church, who was a Freddie Mercury impersonator in Los Angeles for a while, as well as a solo artist. She does a great job in the chorus, I think. This is the only chorus that I've not sung in a Veil song. So, there you have it. That is Do Your Bones Glow at Night by the Veils. And I just want to say, I'm probably going to be bringing some more of these guys to the table. This is a really good album. They have a lot of good albums. especially from that second one on, when he sort of had like a revisioning and a reworking of the band sound, and it took on this more, as I said, cinematic quality to it. So yeah, I think you would probably enjoy some other stuff by them if you enjoyed this, and it sounds like you did.
Yeah.
Cool. Excellent. Well, everybody out there in the listening audience, let us know what you thought of this tune, and what do you think of the Veils. If you have any suggestions we should check out by them, or they reminded you of anything else that we need to check out, please drop it in the comments field below. We're always happy to see you guys interact with each other and with us, and provide us tunes that we can add to the long list of Friday episodes we do here. Also, while we have your attention, and if you're still here, like, share, and subscribe. Help us grow the channel if you would, please. We truly do appreciate it. We can't reach our goals without you, so it's quite a symbiotic relationship here we have with you guys, and we really do appreciate all your help in helping us grow the channel. And hopefully John and I will see all y'all in growing numbers on the next installment of the Audiophiles. See you later, guys.